Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Rapture, and this is my first video. I love video games, I love tier lists, and I love nostalgia. And all three of those things have come together in my brain to create the love child that is this video. Today, I will be creating a preliminary ranking of all of the Nancy Drew mystery games. You probably have a lot of questions. What are the Nancy Drew mystery games? Why is your list preliminary? Who even are you, anyway? Many good questions, not all of which I have great answers to. Nevertheless, let's get into it. What sort of kicked this all off was that I was recently playing Strange Horticulture, which was a fantastic game. I really enjoyed it. And something about the way that that game laid out its puzzles and its storytelling really reminded me of the Nancy Drew games that I used to play as a kid. And I was thinking back on them, and I realized in the middle of my nostalgia trip that those games are what got me into gaming in the first place. If you aren't familiar with these, they are essentially point-and-click adventure games that follow the iconic teenage detective, Nancy Drew, as she travels the world and solves various cases. So why is this ranking preliminary? I decided that it could be a really fun, nostalgic journey to basically go back and play through all of these games as an adult after having not played them for a really long time. Because I haven't played these games for years, and I frankly don't remember the ones I did play all that well, I thought it would be a fun experiment to sort of create a preliminary ranking of these games based solely on my childhood memory of them. I feel I sort of have like a unique point of view at this moment in time that will disappear the second I start playing the games again. And so I kind of want to see how my childhood nostalgic memories sort of stand up to my soon-to-be formed adult opinions of these games. I think we all probably have that experience where, you know, you've watched something as a child that you've adored, and then you go back and watch it as an adult, and you're like, ooh, this isn't as good as I remember. Or it happens in the reverse, where you watch something as a kid and you think, yeah, I hated that movie, it's awful, I don't like it, and you watch it as an adult and you're like, wow, that's fantastic, why didn't I like this more when I was younger? So the point of the ranking is to kind of get a baseline of how the games stand up over time and in my memory. But again, disclaimer, haven't played them. So I kind of think this list might only be for me. Oops. Okay, so we have our tier list, and I am going to give a couple disclaimers before we totally jump in. The first of which is I haven't played these games in years. Like, some of these games, I was looking through them. The most recent time that I was playing these games was when I was in like middle school. So it has been years, and my memory's not that good. So I don't remember a lot of this, and I don't want anyone to be offended if I rank maybe what is your favorite game really low, because it was the brain of an 8th grader. It was literally like, for some of this, it was, are you smarter than a 5th grader? And spoiler alert, no, because my second disclaimer is I was not smart enough for these games. I played this first one so many times. Like, the first two, I played a lot. I remember I would literally load them up. I would play them. I would get stuck at pretty much the same spot every time. Start it over. Rinse and repeat. You get the drill. I could not figure these out. And I think it's funny now because I am very aware that a lot of people find the first game and the remake, I believe, of the first game to be the easiest games of the series. And I find that a little alarming. I don't think I ever figured out how to finish it. So a previous me was not smart enough for these games. I don't know if I'm going to be smart enough for them even now. We'll see. Third and final disclaimer. I have ordered these by release date because I'm going to be playing them by release date. The reason is because I'm a little worried that if I were to start with the remaster and then go back, it will be jarring. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play them and review them by the order they were released, because I feel like that's fair. You know, like a game that came out in 1999 is not going to have great graphics. It's just not. So all the caveats are done. My tiers. So pretty simple. I have God tier being in my memory. This thing stands the test of time. I think this game was great. I think I'm gonna love it when I play it again. Pure nostalgia. I really fondly remember this game, have a lot of nostalgia. It doesn't quite make it into God tier. Pretty self-explanatory. Next one is fun, but maybe just okay. So I had a good time, I think, but also I'm questioning if I had a good time. I'm not entirely sold. And then forgettable. I don't know how many I'm going to have played that I totally don't remember. Some of them all merge together in my head, so I'm kind of interested to see how this goes. And then actively disliked / problematic. I'm pretty sure I'm only putting one categorically here, but we'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself. And then I have a category for Unplayed because there are actually quite a few of these games that never made their way into my library. Okay, Secrets Can Kill. This game started it. This was the first Nancy Drew game that I ever played, and I remember it had the little cartoon characters. Like, they weren't three-dimensional characters yet, and there were 2 discs that you had to put in. I'm unfortunately not going to be playing this. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it to run. I actually just went through a whole thing trying to see if I could get Stay Tuned for Danger to run on this computer. It was a little tricky, and I don't know if I have quite the heart to really force myself to get this one to work. So won't be replaying it, but I will say for my memory ranking, it's hard because this was literally the first game I played. I feel like for that alone, I'm going to put it in pure nostalgia. I don't remember absolutely loving it, like in the sense that I was like obsessed, but it was what spawned my love of the whole series. Like this was the first one that I played. So yeah, I'm going to put it in pure nostalgia. Up next, Stay Tuned for Danger. I think I definitely liked this one less than I liked Secrets Can Kill. And I think it was because I thought it was harder when I was younger, which I realize is not a good way to do this. But I remember I had a harder time figuring out what I was supposed to do in this game. And I remember the graphics changed. They moved into these 3D characters. For today's standards, the graphics are really bad. But in 1999, when this game came out, they were probably pretty good graphics. So I'm going to put this in fun, but maybe just okay. And when we revisit, which this will be the first one I'm starting with, I'll have to see if that kind of holds up. Message in a Haunted Mansion. I don't remember this game very well. Yeah, I'm going to have to say it's forgettable for right now. Maybe I'll think of it differently. I literally can't remember much from that game. I remember there's a stairwell. Like there's a staircase. That's helpful. Okay, Nancy Drew, Treasure in the Royal Tower. I have fond memories of this game. I think this is probably creeping back up to pure nostalgia territory. I feel like I learned a lot about the French Revolution from this game. Like, actually learned, too. Not, like, just little things. But I feel like I remember I came out of this game and I was like, wow, my history class won't know what's coming. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put this in pure nostalgia. I don't remember a lot about the characters, but I remember, Professor Hotchkiss. I do remember her. This is going in pure nostalgia because I remember this game better than the others. Okay, the final scene, I think I'm going to put in fun, but maybe just okay, because I know I played it. I remember the theater, but I don't really remember. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. We're going to leave it there. Secret of the Scarlet Hand. I'm going to put that in forgettable because I don't remember it at all. But I know I played it, because I played all of the first few of them. That's not true. I didn't play this one. We can put this one right there. I didn't play Danger on Deception Island. Okay, wait. Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. Oh, I really liked this game. You know what? I'm going to put this in pure nostalgia, and I'm not going to put it in God tier, even though that was my first instinct, because I think the only reason I particularly liked this game was I think this was the first game that I actually finished. That could mean that in my upcoming playthrough, I'm going to think maybe the game was too easy or too simple. But I do remember I actually finished this one. So just for that alone, I'm going to leave it in pure nostalgia. I kind of want to move it up to God tier because I have really fond memories of this game. But I kind of think it's like not real. Like I think it's just because I was so proud of myself as a child. Finishing a Nancy Drew game for once. Because I don't think I finished any of these. Like I think I played them enthusiastically with hope. And then my hope was crushed. Good life lessons to learn early, I guess. Okay, Nancy Drew and the Haunted Carousel. I'm going to put this one in fun, but maybe just okay, because I remember this. Like, I do remember it, so I can't put it in forgettable. But I don't really remember, like, really liking it all that much. This is going in God tier. I loved this game. I was totally that girl that was like obsessed with horses but knew nothing about horses. Didn't know anything. But this game kind of let me pretend that I now knew more about horses. I remember I loved the setting. I loved the like kind of setup, and I don't remember exactly what was happening. Oh, but I remember there's that like old deserted town that she goes to. That I'm looking forward to that game. I'm very excited for the playthrough of that one, and I'm putting it in God tier because like when I think of Nancy Drew, that's like the quintessential game that first pops into my head of like, that is a Nancy Drew game. Curse of Blackmoor Manor was hard, man. I remembered being worried I was going to be scared because it was very marketed as like much scarier than I think a lot of the other games that had already come out. I feel like I have to put it in. I didn't finish this one. It was too hard. I remember there were puzzles in that I was like, this. It made me feel like I was trying to do college level work. It wasn't, I'm sure, but I was like stressed. But the game itself, like the mansion you're in, the fact that it's kind of scary but kind of not is very like key Nancy. I think I have to put this in God tier. Oh gosh, I wasn't expecting to put quite so many games so high. You know what? This next one is a good middle ground, I think. The Secret of the Old Clock, I played, and I really didn't like it. This is not the problematic one, but this is not one that I liked. But I think I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to like it when I play it through now, because I think the only reason I didn't like it was because it was based off of, like, actual Nancy's first, like, the Nancy Drew books' first case. And so they set it in, like, the 1920s. I probably have the date even wrong, but I was never a big history person in school, and I didn't connect well with the game. But I think now that I'm older, I will probably actually like this. But I'm going to leave it here just for the sake of the comparison later on after I've played them all. That is immediately followed by another God tier game, though, which is Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon, which, in my opinion, is probably the best. Ooh, I didn't do this for any of the others, but I'm going to do it for this one. I would say I would rank Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon above the sea. I just loved the puzzles. I remember I loved the puzzles, and I loved that we were on a train. I don't remember anything else about the game. I just remembered I really loved the puzzles and the train and the progression of moving through the train cars. I had a really fun time with this. So I'm going to put that one at the top, very top right now, because I'm extremely excited about playing through that one again in a playthrough. Danger by Design. Putting that in pure nostalgia. Am I? Ooh, maybe it's fun, but maybe just okay. If I'm putting it in this category, it would definitely go at the top of this category. I'm very torn because I remember this game pretty fondly. I feel like it does bring me like classic Nancy Drew nostalgia, which would make me want to put it in pure nostalgia. I don't remember getting very far in this game. I'm going to go ahead and commit. I'm going to say I'm going to put it in pure nostalgia because, again, I'm having a pretty, like, nice reaction to it. Yeah. I played this game. I know I did. I don't remember a single thing about it. So it's getting put in forgettable. Yeah. That's God tier for me. I wanted to live in this game. I grew up in a place with no snow. And I remembered I just loved the fact that there was snow. And wolves and a cabin. And it felt cozy. And, you know, it was a hard game. It kind of, Curse of Blackmoor Manor and that one being right next to each other are kind of funny to me because I remember thinking those two were probably the two hardest games. Legend of the Crystal Skull. I can't keep putting all these in God tier. I'm going to have to start making some decisions. This cannot also be God tier. You know what? No. We're going to put this in pure nostalgia, and I'm going to just kind of quickly reorder this because I think Legend of the Crystal Skull, Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake, then The Royal Tower, then this, and then Secrets Can Kill. That's probably the order I would put these in. I really, really fondly remember this game. This is one of the games, like, I almost am tempted to put it up here, but it doesn't quite make it for me. I'm really excited to play through this one again. I'm hoping I like it as much as I remember, because I just remembered thinking it was a really, really fun game. Anyway, The Phantom of Venice. I'm actually debating if I even played it. I might put this in Unplayed, because this isn't the kind of game where I'm like, I know I played it because I remember, like, some of the settings. Like, this one, I remember some of the, like, settings from the game, so I'm literally like 90% positive I did play it. This one, I literally don't remember anything about that. I don't even, like, even the necklace, I don't think I played it. So, Unplayed. The Haunting of Castle Malloy is forgettable to me. I remember playing that. I remember playing it, but I don't remember the game. So, I'm gonna have to put it there. This is easy. I have not played this, and I'm gonna just go ahead and preemptively put that. I haven't played either of the I didn't even know these existed until I was researching this for this video. I'm interested. I don't know what they are. I was surprised to see that they came out, like, so early on, like they were released so early on in the series. I guess my hopes are not super high just because they didn't continue making them, which makes me think they didn't do super well. Okay, this one is going into the problematic category. So I'm only putting it here because it was listed as problematic. I owned this game when I was younger. I had played through like the first part of it. I did not get to the big reveal at the end. I learned the company has discontinued this game due to that controversy and that content. And I'm going to respect their wishes, and I'm not going to try to hunt the game down. I'm not going to play it. I don't even know if you can find it. That's fine. So, unfortunately, it will just live here in the problematic category, and that's where it'll stay. So, all right, moving on to, oh my gosh, this is going in God tier. I thought this was fantastic. I just loved the school setting. I loved the mystery. I loved the characters. I thought everybody, you know, I kind of liked that Nancy was sort of like ingratiated into the school. I'm putting this in God tier, and I'm kind of confidently putting it there. I thought that was a really good game, and I kind of think I'm still going to like it. I think I'm still going to like revisiting Waverly. We're getting close to the point where most of these are, you know what, I'm actually going to jump ahead of myself for just a second because I'm going to shorten this video. I didn't play anything after the Captive Curse. So, all of these can go here. I haven't played any of these. I didn't even know a lot of these existed until I was doing this. So I'm kind of excited, actually, to eventually get to a point where I'm, like, playing games that are actually brand new to me. That'll be fun. Trail of the Twister. I'm going to put this in pure nostalgia. I really liked this game because of, I think, the setting. I do remember that I don't think I loved... you know what? Nope. I just remembered a whole plot point of this that I remember I really didn't like. So just because of that moment, I'm going to move it down. I didn't love that the thing that was the big bad of the game was like a natural disaster. That felt very weird. It's a tornado. What are you going to do? How is Nancy supposed to help fix that? I kind of feel like I'm going to move it down for that. But I do remember I really, really liked the setting and the characters. And we'll see. We'll see what my thoughts are on it. I didn't play the remaster. I missed that one. I played the original, could never finish it, and now I can't play it. So I'm kind of excited to be able to play the remaster. I have to believe they changed it a little bit because I remember there were some things in this game that would have never, content-wise, like made it into the other games. So, is it the same? Maybe it's different. We're gonna find out. Last two. Where are we putting you? This one's hard. This is God tier to me, but I feel like now I have too many games in God tier. I shouldn't have done this. This is bad. This is an unbalanced chart. This should look like a bell curve, and it does not look like that. Whoops. Okay. Let me place this one. This is easy. This was forgettable. I don't remember this game in the slightest. I know I played it. It was the last game I played. I think I played this one when it was released. Don't remember it. Anyway, it's going there. We're basically done with the ranking. I just want to like kind of close ranks really quickly. These were all forgettable, so I'm comfortable with everything above this because I didn't actually forget anything above this line. I think I was tempted to put this down there. I might move this one. I'm a little concerned that this one's not as good in my head. I'm wondering if I'm just like caught up in the allure that was the fashion designer. Yeah, well, let me move it down to maybe it was just okay. And if I had to pick one of these to move out of God tier, because I do feel I need to move one of them out of God tier, I would move this one. I would. I think I'm putting this in pure nostalgia because when I think Nancy Drew, I don't actually immediately think of this game. There's my ranking. That's it. It's very even. It's very evenly distributed, which is a little unexpected. I guess I did just kind of do that on purpose. Okay. Childhood Brain has placed them here. I'm going to end on just a quick thought I had in the middle of this, which was that I feel like the reason that these games specifically were so impactful for me was because at the time, they were some of the only games that were like marketed to girl gamers. Like, these two games, The Secrets Can Kill and Stay Tuned for Danger, literally had the slogan for girls who aren't scared of a mouse. And I remember I thought that was so clever at the time, which is funny because I'm terrified of mice and all small critters and creatures and bugs. So didn't quite apply, but like when we're talking mice, like I thought that was such a clever line for a game marketed to an audience that wasn't primarily being targeted for video games for a long time. And the other thing that I wanted to note that I'm just like kind of realizing now is like these games also consistently delivered a story where Nancy was always resourceful, brave, and kind in ways that like main female characters weren't really being portrayed. And granted, times have changed since the very first few versions of these games came out. There's not any concept of gender, I think, on them anymore. Anybody can play these games, and I don't think that anybody feels as though they are any sort of gendered experience. I just wanted to point that out because I feel like it was an impactful thing for me at the time as a gamer, or at least as somebody who was developing like an appreciation for games, but didn't necessarily feel like I was meant to. So yeah, I'm hoping to start my stream of Stay Tuned for Danger sometime soon. And then at the end of all of this, when I'm finished, I'm really excited to kind of redo this video and maybe do like a reaction sort of comparison where I just basically re-rank these based on my adult opinions. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you stuck around this long and you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and possibly subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. Bye.